Well, it's Terrill Welch here, and 2.5 hours later, I'd say the painting's pretty much there. I probably, possibly do a bit more work here and there. Now it's a matter of looking and waiting and seeing what demands to be adjusted or changed. I'm happy with it. When I think about the 3 works of the sketches I used and my reference pieces, I feel that in a very minimalist way, I created a space for the viewer to walk into this painting. The red gate is, I think, symbolic of where we are as a society, where it's shock and awe and very brief attention span. So I used that red gate to anchor our attention into the space and into the painting. I wanted us to be able to sense the overcast and the fog and sort of the minimalist midday, probably I think it was around 1 o'clock in mid-December, with fresh snow on the ground. I wanted us to understand that in a way that I think is less familiar. To most viewers. So in some ways, when my intention was to anchor myself in my specific historical experience, was to understand that the average viewer didn't relate much to light or understand how that influenced our awareness, partly because the average viewer doesn't spend enough time in a natural environment. And you say, well, we all live in our environment, but in an urban environment is the light pollution and the light we live under is dulls our awareness to the natural light. So I played with that, and I hope that when I look at it tomorrow and next week and a month from now, I'm still satisfied that I created that invitation for the viewer to come into the work. Well, that's all I have to say about it for now. Yeah. So thank you very much for joining me on this painting process.